EA Sports coverage of the National Football League brings us to the ATL, once the terminus of the Western and Atlantic Railroad, where the sound of that train horn can still be heard inside the magnificent Mercedes-Benz Stadium. Today we've got an NFC South matchup, as it'll be the Carolina Panthers taking on the Atlanta Falcons.
Atlanta Falcons.
There's Nick Folk ready to put this one in the air. And we are underway from Atlanta. And he returns this to the 22. So here are the Panthers now for their opening drive. And they'll be led out by a guy who has a couple years under his belt in the NFL, their third-year quarterback.
And there's a word that constantly gets thrown around with this guy when you talk to anyone in the building. Potential. They are sky high on what they believe he can grow into in the role of a starting quarterback. In addition, there are plenty around the league who think that as well. And years from now, he can still be leading this offense out.
First carry for the Oklahoma State man, Chuba Hubbard. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, it's hard to have vision as a runner and find a hole when there's nothing but defenders in your way. They stacked that one up really well. But give him credit. Instead of trying to bounce it out and turn it into a big play, which might have turned into a big loss, kind of just took his medicine there and took the 1 yard.
Now Young. To the left side, he's got McMillan. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
It's a gain of 20.
That one, a gain of 20 and a first down.
First down.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
Off the play fake, Young. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. It'll be a loss of 5 there as the safety blitz winds up paying off.
And this is what you've got to do against a quarterback like him. You've got to keep him in the pocket and not let him get to the perimeter, because once he gets outside, that's where he can really hurt you.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Young working out of the gun. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's pretty early in the game, but they've already tried to establish him not just as a runner, but as a receiver as well. Didn't happen there, but I wouldn't be surprised at all to see them try again shortly.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. Dances by him. And one more time. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. So here the Falcons now as they get set for their opening possession. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now, because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's got his man London right side. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that'll send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Tua sets up to pass it. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
And the Falcons first down. First and 10.
Well, when you're facing a receiver like this, you always come into a game thinking, we've got to put our best corner on him. We've got to find a way to get him off his routes, limit his touches. But that plan, not working too well on this opening drive. That's already 2 catches for him, and this one, good for a first down.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. Short throw caught by Pitts. They'll give him 4 yards there. And it's second down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And that is incomplete.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
6 yards to go.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Again, they will throw it with Tagovailoa. The Panther rush too strong. They get there and take him down. They bring the safety on the blitz, and he busts through to drop him for an 8-yard loss.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Panthers coming back out onto the field for their second drive. The last series form a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Hubbard. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down.
You've got to be impressed by the defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 22, here's 2nd and 8. Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Maybe anticipating a blitz, and they jumped.
Yeah, and if we saw it, you know that they saw it. The bad guys might have been coming on that play. Had to pick them up, and they jumped.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. And they'll go again here with Hubbard. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. That good for 22 and a first down.
But when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level. That offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
And making those linemen work with a couple of blocks. They look good doing it there. A tackle by D'Angelo Malone.
No gain on the play.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Young. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The threat of a second straight punt to start the game is looming as they come up 3rd and 10. Looking to throw, Young. Got a man, that's Liggett. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to make it 4th down.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. The defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
You know what I like about that play? He didn't try to do too much on 1st down. He took what the defense gave him, put together a solid gain to bring up 2nd and manageable. Now they have a couple of plays to pick up just a few yards and a new set of downs.
First carry of the game now for the Texas superstar, Bijan Robinson. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Tua going to run the sneak. And he's going to have a Falcons 1st down. At least it would appear that way. He didn't get it by much, but yes, they do get the conversion on 3rd and 1.
And when all you want to do is keep your drive going, the quarterback sneak's a great call, isn't it? Pick it up, get a new set of downs.
And on 3rd down, usually you'd think 4th down quarterback sneak. There, though, it worked on 3rd. Into the hands of London. Short completion, just 4 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
And this will be caught at the 30. Touchdown, Falcons. Bijan Robinson, 65 yards. And the Falcons get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, he's used to running it that distance. Here he had to catch it, too, before making the run. Heck of a play for the score.
There's not many things better for an offense than a back who's a complete guy who can run it and catch it. And we just saw him complete a big-time play for a touchdown.
Nick Folk for the point after. It's good, and that gives the Falcons a 7-0 lead.
Falcons 7.
So the drive there took 6 plays. And it was capped off by a touchdown catch from Bijan Robinson. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The possession of the football goes over to Carolina. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
On play action, Young. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. A.J. Terrell, the one who shot in there to drop the QB. Everybody was coming on the blitz that time, and they got home.
And you know the expression, hat on a hat, in terms of blocking, trying to keep your quarterback protected? Well, if you don't have enough hats, that's the end result. Your quarterback goes down, and sometimes he goes down hard.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. And that is incomplete here.
And he's only hit on 2 of his first 6 passes. Time for a quick quarterback regroup here with a big third down coming up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. To throw, Young. And that will be incomplete.
Intended for number 18.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Now the punter, Sam Martin, called on to kick it away here. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. That's taken on the 25. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Falcons offense and running back Bijan Robinson set to take over once more. And he has been a big component of the passing game so far. You see the numbers for this first half. This defense is going to need to find some way to key in on him because he is eating them up right now. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down. Seemed like they picked an excellent time there, Charles, to go with a draw play.
They certainly did. Caught them a little over-eager trying to get into the backfield and get to the quarterback. They used their speed and their aggressiveness against them, didn't they?
Play action. Now it's Tua. This pass is caught by London. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. The catch and run going to wind up netting him 33 yards. Now, they lulled them to sleep there, so to speak. That was all set up by the running game, wasn't it?
Another example of what all offensive coordinators tell us. When the running game's operating, it really opens up the playbook, and that's when they hit them with the play action. And you can see the defenders rushing towards the line of scrimmage, then scrambling back, trying to cover. Couldn't get there in time.
Well scripted. They had the big running play, now the big passing play. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the
line.
middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Dotson in motion right. On play action, here's Tua. Checks this one down to Robinson. So that'll be no better than an incompletion. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9. He caught it right at the line of scrimmage, and before he could even think about advancing it forward, he got hit.
Great tackling, because that's what you're taught. Don't give up yards after the catch, and most offenses make a living off of yards after catch. Those hidden yards that may not go into the score sheet, but they count big for movement.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Olamide Zaccheaus from 17 yards out. And the Falcons lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game.
Brandon, what we just saw there were two guys who are in sync. The person delivering the ball, but especially the person running the route. Tremendous job. It results in a terrific play.
Now Folk for the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. 5 plays there on that drive. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Panther football to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Young now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
The Panthers on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Now here's Young. The throw out wide going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try to figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
Here's the punter, Martin, out to kick it away. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And it will be Falcon football. Atlanta regains possession of the football. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, that could really put them in command before intermission.
Yeah, and it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
Looking for Dotson, and he's got him. We'll get a pause here. There appears to be a Panther who is shaken up on that last play. Well, now they're going to come out and take a look at this injury, and we'll be back in a moment. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to pass. Tua. Now he's going to step up and run. And he is down at the 48. A pickup of 4 that started at 148-yard line and ended at the other.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
Here's Tua. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds.
First down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Tua going to throw. Looking for London on the out route complete. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it's second down.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4 at the Panthers' 36-yard line.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up third down.
At the 33-yard line.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. Robinson will try to pick it up. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
First down.
Oh, I sure wish we'd been down the sideline to hear the calls go in for the formation groupings, because I know offense was screaming heavy set and defense was screaming goal line, and look at them going at it there. And guess what? The O-line got the leverage and won that battle.
Yeah, they did. 3rd and short, you're right. Both sides brought the power there. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that will bring up second down.
And that's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Olamide Zaccheaus. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Falcons have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Boy, so if you are scoring at home, Charles, and God bless you if you are, but that's now 3 drives and 3 touchdowns.
So in a baseball game, wouldn't that wreak havoc on your scorecard?
Yes.
I mean, with all the action that's happening now, how they got here, whatever cliche you want to bring into it, they're locked into a groove. They're clicking on all cylinders. Bottom line, they're piling up the points.
On for the extra point is Folk. And it is now 21-0. So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And the end result, an Atlanta touchdown. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. Escaping a tackle at the 25. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Here come the Panthers now, set to take over on offense.
Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession. But I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit. If they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
So give them 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and it'll be second down. On the handoff, running left is Hubbard. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. A loss on that play, and now third down gets tougher, 3rd and 6.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance. That's an excellent job right there on third down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a first down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. It's taken to the 26. 45 yards, that's what the punt goes for. 5 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And here now come the Falcons.
Well, everything right now that they touch on this side of the football, it seems to turn to gold. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. That lead continues to grow. And, I mean, if they can get points here, Charles, might almost be an insurmountable comeback for the other side.
I think you make a great case for that, so I'm going to flip it over to the other side. Could they make the big comeback? Certainly. Am I expecting it? Not at all. I think if we don't see a drastic change in how they're playing, this blowout's going to get bigger and bigger before the final done.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Now flags come flying in. One of the Falcons moved early. Expect this from the visiting team when playing indoors, but not the home team.
They're supposed to get all the advantages, right? The home crowd's supposed to help them. They forgot where they were, perhaps.
So after the penalty, heading in the wrong direction, 2nd and 15. Now Tua. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
The Falcons on 3rd down. They've been excellent, 6 for 7. This is 3rd and 9. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Well, things are definitely going right for them here in the first half. Pick a down, any down, even 3rd down, no problem. They get a connection there and pick up a fresh set of downs, continuing to move the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've run the belt 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Complete to Zacchaeus. Just a gain of a couple there. And that'll make it second down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 34-yard line.
Off a play action. Tagovailoa. That quick throw there is incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
7th play of the drive forthcoming on 3rd and 8. Back to throw. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
The Folks' kick is good. And the route is on. It's 24-0. So this lead, Charles, just continuing to swell here in the first half.
Well, it's interesting. When we talked to them prior to the game, they told us that their game plan was take no prisoners, and they've lived up to it so far because everything has worked. No guarantee that'll continue. But all in all, this coaching staff's got to be very pleased by what they've seen.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Carolina getting set to take the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
They're unable to connect, but a late flag comes in. And the contact may have come too early. So pass interference, the call is so tough as a defender, I'd imagine, to time that up perfectly.
It certainly is difficult to get it exactly right because sometimes you're looking at getting there fractions of seconds too early. That one looked a little more obvious. Always a tough penalty to officiate. Just ask the basketball refs when they have to officiate block and charge.
Throwing, Young. There's Trimble, the tight end. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. And they'll run on first down with Hubbard. And they'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. Big tackle for loss by D'Angelo Malone. Just an excellent play. Well, you've told me before, it's great to be an athlete. A lot of great athletes out there. It's good to have instincts, and he has those.
I would take those above athleticism in a lot of cases because if you know where the ball's going before anyone else can get there and block you, you can make up for lack of athleticism by being in the right spot at the right time.
They took him down in the backfield with those instincts.
All right, help me out here a little bit, partner, because what I'm seeing is a passing game that's just struggled to complete anything. No rhythm, no timing. Seems like every pass is also contested well, so give some credit to the defense.
Young to throw it. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
They've had multiple opportunities on offense and still haven't scored any points. Felt like they wanted to loosen things up, throw it downfield, and see if maybe they could get a big play and a quick strike.
Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line. The Falcons offense and Tua Tagovailoa headed back out onto the field. And he's done everything you could have asked for coming in. He's spread it around. He hasn't taken many chances. And he's potentially on his way to a big game throwing the football. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it, touchdowns.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Robinson up the middle. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
They fake the handoff. Now Tua. That's to the veteran tight end, Austin Hooper. So they'll get 8 out of that completion. And it'll leave them with 3rd and a full yard to go.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Now Tua going to try and sneak it. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
It's been a good drive so far. They just wanted to keep it going, so they call low-risk, low-reward play. No one's worried about picking up big yardage here. Quarterback sneak, keep the chains moving, and pick up another first down.
And they'll bring the big tight end across the formation left. Now this time, Tua's going to throw it. Zacchaeus here hauling it in. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. This 2nd and 4. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Panthers' 24-yard line. Talk about a big first half. Already has the 2 touchdowns, adding to his receiving total there and picking up the first down.
He's coming off the line so fast. I think he's intimidating the defensive backs with his explosiveness, and he's chipping away at their confidence.
Tua sets up to pass it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 2 yards on the pickup there. And it'll be 2nd down.
2 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Here's a 2nd and 8. Tua to throw again. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll look to throw again. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Intended for
That is the
Fuller
first time
body,
that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. And the now 40-year-old veteran able to put this one through. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So more of the same here, CD. Not a touchdown, but 3 more points added on to their lead.
Yeah, it's been a total domination here in this first half. Offensively, defensively, even the special teams have chipped in as he connects on the field goal. It may be a little bit premature, but I think the only thing they're worried about dominating now, the post-game meal.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Panthers going to go back on offense here late in this first half. Well, things for them, just to put it bluntly, man, it has been tough sledding here in the first half, facing that big deficit. The clock is dwindling now. Maybe if they can get something on the board here before intermission, they'll have at least a little momentum heading into the second half. To throw, Young. That one complete to Liggett. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the first half.
But there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
Here's 2nd and 7. Now Young. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Falcons grab it. And he will bring this down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
A chance to really cap off a big first half here as they come up on 1st and goal. Following the fumble recovery, here's Tua. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Partner, this is almost an unwinnable spot for a defense. They have to come right out for a 1st and goal, trying to stop them. But let me hold on a second. Let me take that back real quick. They can win here if they force a field goal try. Still a long ways away from that happening, but that has to be what they're thinking right now.
Tagovailoa working out of the gun. He'll be hit and taken down at the 20 line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Third and goal as they look to pour some more salt in the wound. Play action. Now it's Tua. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Incomplete. It's now 4th down and goal.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. This will be, let's see, 38 yards out. Folk's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the fumble recovery had them set up in ideal field position, but they can muster only 3 points out of it.
Yeah, when you're able to force turnovers, especially when it results in field position like they had, you really want to make it hurt. Here, they take the field goal. That's definitely not what they were hoping for.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. The Panther offense going to see the ball one more time in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And just 18 seconds remain till halftime as they come up on 1st and 10.
Now they're just going to run it here up the middle.
And he will go out right near the 35-yard line. 38 yards on the scamper there. There was a great article in the paper yesterday about how he likes to run angry. Plays like that, you can feel it, can't you?
As long as he doesn't drive angry, we're okay. Because when he's on the field, that anger works for him. It fuels him, it powers him, and the end result runs like that.
He'll drop that down to Hubbard. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
2nd down and 3.
Now Young. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So with 1 second left in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that will do it for this first half. So halftime straight ahead. Let's get you down to the Sunshine State and Scott Hansen with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the Orlando studios. Scott Hansen with you for a quick recap of the first half, which has been strongly one-sided. This is heading towards blowout territory unless they can come from behind and get themselves a victory. Let's find out what happens in the second half. Let's go back out to the commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scotty, thank you as always. Well, likely two very different halftime speeches by these head coaches, that's for sure, as we get set for half number 2. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So we get set to start this third quarter. Here's the Falcons offense now. And it's hard to imagine that the first half could have gone any better for them. So what's the approach here in the second half?
Just continue to play smart football because they got the other team down and they feel good about the position they're in. The obvious thing people would say is just keep attacking, but I think you also have to be smart about it. Avoid turnovers. That's about the only thing that can derail you at this point. Attack, but make sure you take care of the ball.
Second half begins with a run by Robinson. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24.
It's a loss of 2.
J.C. Horn, really nice defensive effort. He'll get the tackle for loss.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Throwing now is Tagovailoa. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts.
He'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Well, that's always a good place to throw it just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-bodied tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
It's a gain of
just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
On the give, here's Robinson. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 5. From the gun, it's Tua. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Tua going to run the sneak. And he's going to have a Falcons first down, at least at first glance, as they spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches.
There may have been a little bit of an element of surprise there. 3rd and inches, and they go quarterback sneak. I still feel like this is a play that often is reserved for 4th down.
Robinson gets the toss on the right side. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. This offense has had a lot to like in this game. I don't know that last play, though, is going to make the highlight reel.
It's not going to make the highlight reel, but it will be the focus of the film session that the team has to sit through. I've sat through those before. Never any fun. You're always excited about your good plays, and they actually fast forward through those. All right, that was good. All right, great. They get to the bad ones and really illuminate them. Not cool.
22 yards on the catch and run, a 1st down. Whatever the discussions were at halftime to try to slow down this offense, it has not worked to this point.
Yeah, I have a vision right now of everything that was discussed at the half just being torn in shreds or being erased off of the Microsoft Surface tablets because none of it is working. They are really locked in on offense.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
That call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
They'll send the tight end in motion left. Out of the gun on 3rd down, here's Tua. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
They converted twice on 3rd down that drive already, but couldn't make it a 3rd. We always talk about in-game adjustments. How about what the defense did there, able to shut them down on that attempt?
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the left hash, a 31-yard attempt. Oh, the snap, a poor one, and this is blocked. It's picked up, a live ball here, remember. Well, if nothing else, some signs of life here, Charles, because you're facing the big deficit, but at least they were able to prevent 3 more from getting on the board there with a nice block.
And that's how they're comforting themselves on the sidelines right now because they certainly didn't execute well on that play at all. Bottom line, exactly what you said. They didn't need the 3, but they sure don't like giving up a block. They'll have something to work on as they get into practice next week.
Looking to put a drive together. On 1st down, they'll start out with Hubbard.
And they're going to stop it right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
That's complete to Chuba Hubbard. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. A gain of 8 there on the play. And they'll be left with 2nd and a couple.
Not only did we just see back-to-back nice gains, but we're also seeing the confidence rise, not just for the guy who caught it, but the guy throwing it as well.
And these back-to-back catches here out of the backfield, that can set something up downfield in a later sequence, right?
A lot of the time, it starts to draw the defense closer to the line of scrimmage. So to your point, show this swing pass, show this check down. Maybe later on you heave one deep when you catch them close to the spot.
A good-looking drive so far for the Panthers and a first down here. Well, the margin on that scoreboard, obviously, for them, it looks daunting. But I don't know, Charles. They're probably not focused on that right now. Maybe just chaining together a positive drive with plays like we just saw, giving themselves something to build on.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. And what they have to be careful of is getting glued to that scoreboard, trying to do too much. Because if you do that, you're all but guaranteed to start making mistakes. Just focus on one play at a time and make each one successful.
36-yard line.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Again, it's Young. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 26. They picked up 5 yards last time. Now they double it and get 10 here. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Now here's Young. That caught by Trimble. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll leave him with a 2nd and just a few inches left. Well, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
Only a gain of a yard, but that's all they needed.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
First down, they'll stay on the ground with Hubbard. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
And they just get the play off. Now Young. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Well, if you're going to give out a little applause on that play, it has to go to the defense. More good work by them. They've taken away the passing lanes all game long, and you can see the frustration that it's causing because he just about threw that one into the first row.
3rd down, Young from the gun. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Looks like a 9-yard loss. And it also brings up 4th. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
On fourth down, on is Ryan Fitzgerald for the Carolina field goal. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And this one is right through. And that will cut the lead down to 3 scores at 24.
Panthers
I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
Ryan Fitzgerald.
So now after the field goal, Fitzgerald back out there to send this one away. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a very solid return out across the 45-yard line before going out of bounds.
First and 10.
Atlanta prepped and ready for its next possession. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown, Falcons. Kyle Pitts, 53 yards. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. The partner, he has carried them in this ballgame throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Now Folk for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Falcons 37.
Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. 1-play drive and into the end zone for 6. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line. The Panthers offense and Chuba Hubbard set to take over once more. And you have to imagine this defense saying, how do we stop this guy? He has run roughshod through him to this point in the third quarter. This Carolina offense at the line, ready to go. They've probably got some adjustments to make because they've moved the football okay at times, but they haven't been able to get anything consistently going, have they?
What you worry about is it almost turns into a basketball game where one team's coming down and hitting 3s, and you're coming back and getting 2s, and you steadily lose ground. In this situation, you're talking about touchdowns to field goals. They want to put in the end zone and put those 6s on the board.
Yeah, they've been settling. That's why they're down on the scoreboard right now. They'll bring a receiver in motion left. Young now. So he stopped for no gain. And that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Brandon, just mark that under the category of just not successful. Trying to throw the ball, just didn't work on that one.
Completed it. No yardage.
A third down now, and those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll set up the screen here for Hubbard. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. The screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down.
Sam Martin in punt formation for Carolina.
Before they can get the punt away, whistles as we've come to the end of the third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Atlanta. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. And the Panthers turned away on 4th down. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. So he needed the short yardage, Charles. He elected to try to bounce it outside of the outer third, unsuccessful.
Sometimes those plays are stacked up by the defense and there's nowhere to go, so you have to bounce it outside. And some backs just get impatient. They want to go to where they think there's more open territory instead of going where the play was actually blocked. In any case, it didn't work here.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Handoff now to Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back down and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On play action, here's Tua. Short throw caught by Pitts. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a 1st down.
Tell you what, partner, the way he's been slinging it in this one, I think he should be ticketed for a baseball cap and a set of headphones for the next drive. He's been absolutely sensational. But one thing we've both learned about quarterbacks in this league, they often stay on the field longer than you expect.
He will push his way down to about the 14. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
2 yards.
Well, we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
Trying to turn the corner, but he's going to be stopped right near the line of scrimmage. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Caught out left side by Robinson. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the 1st down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
The Folks' kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So this time the protection holds up for him just fine, and he's able to bang it through.
I think their special teams coach got the point across. He gave him a pretty good earful after the block earlier, and this time there's no penetration, so they're able to pick up 3.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Carolina offense about ready to go.
And last time, went for it on fourth, didn't get it. Let's see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game. And sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out.
That's to the tight end, Evans.
Young's pass.
And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable second down.
The ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Now a toss. Hubbard going left.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
A gain of 3 yards.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Right back to Hubbard.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now. Hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Looking to throw, Young. Over the middle, it's complete.
Young's pass.
It'll be a gain of 5.
To number 18.
And now that sets up 32.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Here is Young. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop.
He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, they just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Young to throw it. That one complete to again.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Throwing, Young. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Panthers first down as he'll be marked down a yard or two past the marker following a gain of 6.
They've been moving the ball well, but this drive was in danger of stalling out. Fortunately, this is a nice throw here, and they're able to pick up a new set of downs.
On play action, Young. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Young's incompletion on first down leads to a 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
To throw, Young. And that went to the right side and incomplete. So 2 third-down conversions on this drive, but not able to get a third, and now they deal with 4th down. Another pass attempt, another incompletion, and they're just a little over 100 yards passing here in this game, so defensively, pretty good job.
Definitely, because they were never really able to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, so a lot of credit to the defensive game plan, and especially the execution.
It's desperation time. Young on 4th down. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Carolina. Xavier Legette, 34 yards. And the Panthers are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Ryan Fitzgerald now to add the extra point. And the lead drops from 34 to 27.
Makes the score Falcons 40,
That one in the books as a
Panthers
12-play drive. And Carolina scores to cap it off.
Ryan Fitzgerald
Following the touchdown, this is Fitzgerald now to send this one away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The home team's offense and their quarterback ready to go once more. And he has been masterful so far in leading this offense. He's kept the mistakes to a minimum. He's been on point with his passes, and he's generally been one step ahead of this defense all game long. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They can definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get them some work too. I can't just let them sit over on the sidelines all the time. Movement.
Off of play action, Tagovailoa. Short throw caught by Pitts. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
And the Falcons.
These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
The tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play, and that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
It's a gain
59 yards for him on the ground now on 18 carries. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
Back to Robinson now on first down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
From the 46, here's the 2nd down and 9. Robinson with another carry. Chips by him. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 15 yards, first down Atlanta.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
And he's going to get this one down to the 30. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Tua going to throw. And he's going to be taken down. Back around the 35-yard line. Tershawn Wharton, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Tell you what, he did not have much time there to scan the field before he was ducking and covering.
Did it appear to you, as it did to me, that the defensive front won their play really quickly? Meaning the guys in front of them had almost no chance to block them. They were on him in a hurry.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They've got a third down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. And that is incomplete. Devin Lloyd was there to force the incompletion.
I have a few questions about that throw because to me there just wasn't a lot there. I thought he tried to do a little bit too much, almost tried to will a receiver open when there was no chance he was going to be. Nice job by the linebacker being all over that one and knocking it away.
Folks, kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So a good kick that time, and that might help to get the negative thoughts out of the mind from that earlier block.
Especially since this was not a chippy, so he had to get that one out kind of low. But his line does a nice job of protecting, and he's able to convert for 3.
After the made field goal, back out is Nick Folk to kick this one off. A nice little juke. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Here's the Carolina offense as they get ready to take over here.
Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is in the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward into their next contest.
Yeah, and with how lopsided this game has been, even one score might not do a lot of cosmetic good on the scoreboard, partner, because it's just about looking forward at this point. Get a touchdown here, give yourself some positive momentum and reps to focus on when you get back to practice in the next couple of days.
That'll give them 8 that time. Yeah, that'll bring up a second down in just a couple. Nothing flashy there, the slant to the slot.
Oh, and the frustration for the defensive guys, because it's a quick play, and you know it's going to be a bang-bang play in terms of the throw and the catch, and then he's able to absorb the contact and complete it.
Young will set to throw. Got a man, that's Leggett. That one a first down pickup of 8.
It's a gain of 8. And the Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 43-yard line.
Young to throw it. A short throw hauled in by Trimble. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it.
2nd and 6.
Young. Got a man, that's Leggett. And call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
A gain of 9 yards. That's good for a Panthers first down. 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
It'll be Young again. That one complete to Leggett. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion. And that'll bring up second down. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And when you break it down, you know, this was just a thoroughly dominating performance.
And I truly thought that we'd have a tight game coming into this one. I think you felt the same way based on our conversation after the production meeting, but obviously not the case. And how about just how it broke open? You know, you just all of a sudden, whoosh, there it is. This thing is pretty much done. And the crowd stayed with it to celebrate because they're like, let's enjoy watching our team play this well. This is fun.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. It's a win for the Falcons here as we say so long from Atlanta.